Welcome back to another video for OCR GCSE Business. We're going to move on to 6.2. So 6.2 is all about economic climate. So customers are buyers who buy goods and services. They want to buy things from retailers. Remember, goods and services, goods are a physical product, service is intangible, we can't touch it, such as like a haircut or a taxi journey. Consumer income is the amount of money that people are receiving from their sort of wages and salary. If consumer incomes are going up, then they've got more money available to spend at businesses. Distribution of income is basically the split between how much people earn on average. So you may be in a country where the distribution of income is quite wide, so you have a lot of really rich people and you have a lot of really poor people, or you could be in a country where incomes are generally more spread around people. International economic climate is basically what is going on in the economy for the other countries in the world, because obviously that will have a big impact on a business that's operating in the UK if they're importing or exporting into that country or importing from that country. So economic climate refers to how well the country is doing in terms of levels of income and employment. So there's two parts to that: income, how much people are earning, and employment, are people in jobs. Income I've already mentioned, but mainly that is from wages and salary, but it could be the value of their, any assets they've got growing, things like houses and property and stuff like that. Generally, when consumer incomes go up, businesses tend to sell more. But if that's happening, businesses may put their prices up to try and capitalize on that as well. This is really, really important. You understand the difference between this. Level of employment is the percentage of people that are employed within a country. So I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's something like 95-ish% within the UK is the level of employment. So that means 95% of people are in a job in the UK. Now that means that there's 5% unemployment, so the percentage of people that are out of work. Now obviously the government will want to increase employment. They want like 100% of people to be employed, and they want 0% unemployment, so that they can gain more through income tax and pay out less in benefits. Okay, sorry about that. So unemployment then. So if that goes up, so that means more people are out of work. That means people have less money, less income. It'll be cheaper for businesses to employ new workers. They'll get more people applying for jobs. Less expensive goods will start being purchased. So cheaper products, things like stuff in Poundland and Lidl and Aldi will be purchased more. And more cheaper goods purchased, same point. So less expensive goods will start being purchased, and they'll stop buying sort of expensive goods. Unemployment, people will have more money, more income. If the unemployment is falling, so that means that generally more people have jobs and are earning money. Expensive to employ new workers because maybe there's less people applying for jobs now. More expensive goods purchased because people have more disposable income, and less cheaper goods purchased. So for example, if people are all earning lots of money and things like that, they might shop in Waitrose or something like that instead of Aldi, Lidl, things like that. Okay, this is a diagram that you need to sort of just get your head around. It's called the business cycle. It just basically maps GDP growth of a typical country over a period of time. So GDP is the output of a country. So what are they producing and selling as a country? So when they're in a boom, GDP is high, and that country is doing well from an economic standpoint, and they're selling more, producing more. When they start going through a recession, that's this just after a boom where it starts to fall, that means their economy is actually not doing so well, and people start cutting back on spending money, and businesses start to suffer. When we get to a slump, this is at a really, really low point in the economy where businesses are closing down, unemployment's incredibly high, people are just trying to get by and save as best as possible. After that, recovery, which you could argue maybe we're in at the moment, or you might even argue we're going into a recession depending on when you're watching this. Recovery is when things are starting to get a little bit better. Consumer incomes start to rise, unemployment falls, employment rises, people start spending more money. Now, obviously, it doesn't look perfectly like this. It looks more like this over a period of time. So this sort of shows the financial crisis in sort of 2007, 2008. So things were going great through sort of 2007, sort of mid-2007. Then the financial crisis hit, recession, slump, people cut back on spending. And then over time, we had a very slow recovery for the years after the financial crisis. So economic growth is a period where GDP is rising, and that means incomes and employments are rising. A recession is a period when GDP is falling, causing income and employment to fall. So that is when the country is outputting less. Maybe people have been made redundant. Unemployment starts to increase. So how does that change? How does that impact on changes in income? Rising income often leads to increased sales for businesses. Well, that's pretty obvious. Businesses will want to increase the amount they sell and may expand. So if people have got higher incomes, they'll start to do more. However, sometimes increased income can lead to a fall in sales for certain businesses. Like I was mentioning earlier, if people are earning more money, they may stop shopping in Poundland and they'll just shop in, Tesco or Waitrose instead. Generally, as employment increases, incomes increase. If unemployment falls, businesses might struggle to recruit. So this could lead to increases in wages and increased costs for the business. So that's a drawback for the businesses of employment increasing. And I kind of already talked about this, but certain businesses will do well in different situations. For example, Tesco might do well when the economy is growing, and then Poundland and Aldi might do better when things are not so good, and then John Lewis, Waitrose might do really well when there's a boom and people have got more disposable income. During a recession, then, what can businesses do? Well, they can reduce their costs and try and improve their efficiency, maybe negotiate cheaper costs with their supplier, try and motivate workers to be performing really well. Maybe you might have to make some staff redundant. From a financial point of view, you might need to improve your cash flow, so reduce your outflows, increase your inflows, pay back some loans if you owe any money, and then in general, the whole marketing mix you'll want to improve. That's it. Thanks very much.